I should have known better. The sun had set hours ago, shrouding the world in an inky darkness. But there I was, alone in my car, speeding down a desolate highway that cut through the heart of the wilderness. The rain relentlessly drummed on the windshield, creating an eerie symphony that drowned out all other sounds. It was a night of terror and unknown dangers that would forever haunt my memories. As I drove deeper into the darkness, the only company I had was the pale glow of the headlights and the ever-present shadows that lurked at the edge of my vision. The rain was unrelenting, and the wipers struggled to keep up, smearing the water across the glass like ghostly apparitions dancing in the night. The rhythmic thump of raindrops on the roof seemed to merge with the beat of my racing heart. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. My eyes darted from side to side, trying to catch a glimpse of anything unusual, but there was nothing, only the dense walls of trees and the occasional flicker of distant lightning. I attributed my paranoia to the isolation and the unsettling atmosphere that surrounded me. As the miles passed, I noticed a peculiar sign on the roadside, half obscured by mist and darkness. It read, "Beware, lost souls haunt these roads." I scoffed at the superstitious warning, chalking it up to local folklore designed to spook unsuspecting travelers like me. But deep down, a seed of doubt was planted in my mind. The engine's purr was the only comfort I had, a reminder that I wasn't entirely alone. But then, it started to falter, the car's headlights flickering like dying embers. Panic surged through me as the darkness outside closed in. With trembling hands, I reached for my phone to call for help, but there was no signal. I was trapped in this eerie void with no way to escape. Suddenly, my headlights sputtered back to life, illuminating the road ahead once more. My heart skipped a beat, relieved that I wouldn't be left to wander blindly in the blackness. But as I peered through the windshield, I noticed a figure standing at the edge of the road, directly in the path of my car. I slammed on the brakes, the tires screeching in protest as I skidded to a stop. My breath caught in my throat as I squinted, trying to make out the figure in the rain-soaked darkness. It was a woman, drenched in rainwater, with long, tangled hair that seemed to flow like dark rivers down her tattered dress. "What are you doing here?" I asked, my voice shaking with fear and bewilderment. The woman didn't reply. Instead, she beckoned me to come closer with a ghostly finger. An irrational compulsion overcame me, and before I could stop myself, I opened the car door and stepped out into the rain. The moment my feet touched the soaked ground, the woman's expression changed from passive to sinister. Her eyes glowed with a malevolent intensity as she lunged toward me, her fingers extending into unnaturally long, claw-like appendages. Instinctively, I stumbled backward and fell, narrowly avoiding her grasp. I scrambled back into the car and locked the doors, my heart pounding like a wild drum. I dared not look back as I slammed my foot on the accelerator, leaving the haunting specter behind me. But as I drove, I couldn't shake the feeling that her presence lingered in the car, a chill that crept up my spine, even though the heating was on full blast. The road stretched on, and my mind was filled with chilling images of the woman and the warning sign. I wondered if I had encountered one of the lost souls that supposedly haunted these roads. The stories I had dismissed as mere superstitions now bore a horrifying weight. The rain seemed to intensify, falling with even greater ferocity. I could barely see more than a few feet ahead, and each bend in the road filled me with dread. My headlights struggled to pierce through the darkness, casting elongated shadows that danced eerily around me. As I rounded a particularly sharp curve, I saw a ghostly figure standing in the middle of the road once more. My heart sank as I recognized the woman, her haunting features illuminated by my headlights. There was no time to react. I slammed into her with a sickening thud. Terrified and shaking, I jumped out of the car again, expecting to find the woman's lifeless body. But the road was empty, devoid of any sign of the chilling figure. I was alone, standing in the rain and darkness, surrounded by an oppressive silence. Feeling a growing sense of dread, I hurried back into the car and continued driving, desperate to escape this nightmarish road. But the horrors were far from over. The road itself seemed to twist and turn in impossible ways, leading me in circles, back to the same sinister spots. No matter how far I drove, I couldn't escape the haunting highway. My surroundings warped and twisted, the trees taking on grotesque shapes and the rain transforming into a torrential downpour that threatened to drown me. The car's interior seemed to change too, growing colder and more ominous with each passing mile. The windows fogged up, and ghostly handprints appeared on the glass. Unearthly whispers echoed in my ears, calling my name in a cacophony of sinister voices. With a surge of desperation, I slammed my hands against the steering wheel, demanding an end to this torment. The car suddenly lurched to a stop, and all around me, the world fell into an eerie silence. The headlights flickered, then dimmed into darkness, leaving me in complete and utter blackness. I was trapped, lost in a nightmarish realm beyond comprehension. The highway had claimed me, and there was no escaping its grasp. From that point on, I became just another lost soul haunting these roads, doomed to forever seek a way out of the darkness. And so, dear reader, if you ever find yourself driving alone on a desolate highway at night, remember my warning. Beware of the haunting highway and the lost souls that roam its endless twists and turns. For once you enter its grasp, there's no escaping the terrors that lie within.